Hello and welcome to another ralfidude's DCS A10-c Warthog Landing instructional video. I realized last video was not probably the greatest and sharpest. I did make a couple of mistakes. Hopefully I'm able to do this a little bit more correctly. I found out some new stuff as well, so it might help you out in the end. So let us get started. First things first is some nasty weather downstairs, but it's not that bad. Well, we'll get through it. I'm going to slow down just a little bit here. And the first things first, function 2 nav mode. CDU, divert. Alright, Soki Adler is 2 minutes out. We'll take that. And here we go. Soki Adler is our airport. The runway is 24, ILS is 111.10. I won't make that mistake again from my last video. And the radio frequency to the runway is 127.00. First things first, let's go and set up our radio. Just right here, 127. Right click, 127.00. Alright, we're tuned in to that. And change our ILS to 111.10, which I will do in just a second right here. Actually, let me do that now. 11110. I'm not going to turn it on. You would right click to turn it on. But I don't want the beeping noise to get in between my talking. Before, when I mentioned the runway heading, runway is 24. One thing I found out as I was doing this is also the runway heading. Now remember, runway 24 means 240, which means if we look at our HSI, we'd be landing on runway this way, from right to left, bearing 240. Now, tower might want us to land opposite of that runway, maybe bearing 060. So when we call tower and request a landing, we're going to need to listen carefully, and they'll tell us what bearing we need to turn to, and then to what runway they want us to land at. So let us do that now. We're going to press the left Alt and plus key, and hit F5 for ATC. And Soki Adler is our airport. By the way, this is repeated here. So if you're looking at ILS, you don't know what thing you're looking at, you can just look right there. And inbound.
Forward 11 inbound. Forward 11 fly heading 257. Forward 13 QFE 3817. Runway 06. 2%
Alright.
altitude.
257 and it's runway 06, you see? So it's not 240 they want us, they want us down at 06. Anyway, autopilot disengage. Turn left 257. And start diving down since I'm at Angels 11. Almost Angels 12 there. Now you see on the left MFCD the airport's over to our right a little bit, so we are very close. In this case I've throttled down to 0 all the way. Might put some air brakes on as well. It's going to get a little bit nasty down here, but don't be discouraged. It's fine. Lightning strikes can't hurt you. Sticks and stones will. Now, I'm going to turn on ILS. Right click. Don't worry about that. That just means we're passing over the beacon. Now, we've overshot the runway already, so don't worry about it. We're going to course correct. I'm probably going to go ahead and make a left turn and get back into it. The last thing we need to do is clear visible. Pull up a little bit. There we go. The runway's right there, actually, right behind us. Last thing we need to do is go to our HSI and set the HSI towards the runway. 06, remember? So scroll this puppy the other way. 06, that's beautiful. And hit ILS. Now, if you guys remember, This will show you if you're correct on the runway. This will be a cross yellow one, as well as this is your glide slope. Now if this is below, it means it wants you to dive down. If it's above, it means it wants you to go up. Fairly simple. Remember, this is your speed slope. Speed up a little bit here. And carrot down too fast, carrot up is too slow, and circle in the middle means you're right on the money. As I mentioned before, the ideal approach is to be around 2,500, I think, somewhere around there, 230, 250 knots. Start going in on this approach. I'm going up a little too fast. I think these clouds are up at 4, Angels 4. We'll make a left-hand turn here. So, that's with a payload of minimum combat weight. Well, the approach is actually the right thing that I said in the first video. The landing speed at 120 knots, that was a little bit far-fetched. Essentially, 120 knots you can land at if you have no weapons on board. As you see, I have left my weapons on this time. Now, if any of you have flown in the Falcon 4.0, you will probably remember that they usually told you to add 4 knots for every 1,000 pounds that you have an aircraft above minimum combat weight, or something along those lines. The general rule of thumb is 150 knots to 120 knots is a great landing speed for the A10. As long as you follow the glide slope on the ball over here and on the HUD to the left of it, and use the totem pole, this little circle, to line it up right on the runway, you'll be just fine. Now you can land this aircraft with absolutely zero visibility, and you'll be completely fine. Alright, we're approaching. I'm going to slow down since we're at 200 knots. And since we're below 200, I'm going to press G and get our gear down. Now flaps would automatically drop, but I think we can, there you go, press F. A little bit high over here, so I'm going to dive down, get our air brakes on. And I'm going to call in tower, ask for permission to land. F1.
Forward 1-1, request landing. Forward 1-1, clear to land, runway 06, wind 068 at 9 meters per second.
Alright, so winds are blowing away from us in the same direction that we're flying at 068 since our runway is 06. So not an ideal situation. I think usually you like to land into the wind. It gives you more lift on the wings. Alright, so the speed ball, as you can see on the left, shows that we're pretty much right on. Our glide slope says we're a little bit too high, so now we're on the ball.
Altitude, altitude.
Now, I wanted to make it a little bit more stormy and having to crab this area a little bit more to the left instead of the right, but I put my fast mission planner on stormy. That's the only option I had. But if I figure out how to make the weather a little bit more dynamic, I'm going to try and make it a little bit more challenging. As you can see, we're pretty much on the money with glide, on the money with speed. Gonna flare out right here. And we are good to go. There you go, gentlemen. Everything is good. By the way, ILS, this beeping noise cannot be turned down. I know there's a volume button on there. It's non-functional. A lot of these volume buttons on the left here are non-functional. There is a button to turn it off, though. I just don't know which it is. I'm still figuring that one out. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed. See you later.